Hey guys, so I know I haven't been able to post anything today, been out with family and stuff, so I'll talk about that later. And also finally scheduled a dental appointment for the 14th of this month as well, and see what's going to go from there. I'm assuming that based on the way my teeth are right now, I could still chew and eat, thank the Lord on that. I have a feeling I might just have implants put in or might have a bridge, because there are certain parts missing. So it's either going to be a bridge or implants, maybe even veneers. But either way, I should still be able to eat. Maybe not the way I used to, depending on the situation. But I'll still be able to eat. They say, oh, you can't eat popcorn and all that after you get implants and bridges. And I think that's a lot of bull. I think you can. You just got to be very careful with it, you know. So I get that. I understand that. So they, I think they're just saying that because they know there are some people like, oh, I got new teeth and everything. I got some new stuff. No, you got to be like that and like that. Very careful, very tender, if you will. But anyway, that's mainly why I haven't been able to post anything today. But I wanted to do this real quickly because I wanted to touch upon something that I've heard a lot of people talking about over the past week or so, and that is the revelation. A revelation that was teased for months in Marvel Comics, in the main Spider-Man comic, the 6161, and, the 616 Earth, that is. And what was teased primarily was who is the new Venom? Who is the new host for the Symbiont, for the Symbiont, if you will, or Symbiote. Like who's the new host? And everybody was throwing out different names. There were different faces appearing on the body on different covers and everything. And one made a little sense. Another was kind of like out of left field, and another was like, yeah, he's part of the Spider-Man universe, but no way that would be possible. So there were guesses and everything, but nobody thought in the wildest dreams that the revelation would be that it's Mary Jane of the prime Mary Jane of 616 Earth, the one that is no longer with Peter Parker. She's with this other guy named Paul, who fans want her away from, and they want her back with Peter. And a lot of people are saying, well, if you want that, go check out Ultimate Spider-Man and some other variations of Spider-Man in comic form, and you get your wish. But anyway, anyway, point is, and everything that basically, long story short, she was revealed, and a lot of fans' reactions were like, "Really, Mary Jane? Why?" Well, here's why I think why. And I know people might say, well, they did this because they want to basically make sure there's no way she can get back with Peter and all that, and she's stuck with this Paul guy and all that. I want people to understand that no matter what incarnation of Mary Jane you've seen, she's always had a connection to the symbiont, to the Venom symbiont, or any kind of symbiont, if you will. It's been in various comics, not just, the Prime comic, if you will, and all that, the 616 comic. But, it's been done in other incarnations of Spider-Man. We saw it, we saw it recently in this Spider-Man game right here. If I can just pick this up for a second. We saw it in this Spider-Man game. We saw it there. When she got possessed and became Scream. We've seen it in various comic books of Spider-Man throughout the years and decades. Heck, if you watch the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon that was on Disney XD and Disney Channel and all that, and that's, I think, even on Disney Plus right now, she was temporarily Carnage Queen, and then she became permanently bonded to the symbiote. It became part of her DNA. So for people to be upset about that, they need to go back and look at all those different variations of Mary Jane that have gone through this, and even, like I said, with the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, basically became permanently bonded, via DNA to the symbiote. So it's nothing that's surprising or should be surprising, when it comes to the fact that, oh, they chose her to be the new host. I think what gets them is why. Why her? Why couldn't they, do somebody else? Or why can't they just finally let the symbiote, the Venom symbiote, be its own thing, kind of maybe have its own physical body and stuff. And I think the reason for it, and I'm going to say this with all due respect, no offense, is the same way I've talked about, girls that get the elastic shape-shifting powers, melting powers, and all that. I think it's because they look at a female character as being more, I guess you could say, mischiefy. More mischiefy, more, I guess you could say, inquisitive, more innovative, more imaginary, or imaginative, if you will, creative. They look at all those sides, that, them being more creative, imaginative, innovative, mischiefy, seductive, and all that. They look at all those things, and I say it with all due respect, no offense, in a female character that, even in as well as flirtatiousness, in a female character, and to them, the primary chain, represents all of that in one package. So to them, having her be the new host and then have her reveal it the way she did kind of shows you that she's gonna, be put in a situation to where, yeah, she's gonna have to fight crime and, take care of stuff and, take this seriously as well. But it's also to basically, allow her to have a little mischiefy fun, like do some silly stories here and there. I mean, we know that they have a new female symbiote that's out there that's, I think what the name is, Misery or something like that or whatever. But, she in the Symbiont that she's, this doctor character, I can't think of her name right now, her and this symbiote that are connected together now have the ability to splat into goo on the wall, like a puddle of goo on the wall and everything, or even, split in half or whatever. So if that's what they're going to be doing with the symbiotes now, especially the Venom one, and you got Mary Jane being a host, obviously they see everything that I've mentioned as, kind of a character development for the character. Creativeness, innovativeness, imaginativeness, mischiefy, seductive, flirtatious. They see all that wrapped into one package of someone that's, has a good heart, but, is willing to do the right thing. And will try to use this bond to do that right thing. And look, it may not be a popular choice for a lot of folks. I mean, I've gone on record and said I've never liked what they did with Sally Acorn with the Mecha Sally deal. Because to me, that was never Sally. And I made a promise I would not read all the issues that involved her or involved that story arc until it was done. And I lived up, to my word to go and check out that video. It's here on my channel. But the thing is, I can understand, some, people not being particularly fond of a story idea. Like I said, the Mecha Sally one wasn't something that myself or many other fans were, very keen on. But, they did it because they wanted to, create, more story development, more growth for the characters, reintroduce the characters to a new generation, get them to understand why the freedom fighters were who and what they were. So overall, I understand in closing people's frustrations. But I say this, let it play out. Because like I said, I think this is going to be, something that might surprise you. And yes, I also think it's being done for the character to have a little mischiefy fun, if you know what I mean, as part of the symbiote. Especially whatever kind of powers they're going to give her when it comes to being part of it. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what yours are.